Good morning. My name is Reverend Pamela M. Pinkney, and I am currently a presidential candidate for the United States of America for the 2016 election. Today is November the 8th, 2016. I would like to have your vote today. I know some of you have voted early, and some are voting today, and I would love to have your vote. I do know what does and does not work for our government. I'm fully aware. And I'd like to have your vote. There are many, many reasons. I want to share something with you, and I want you to take it very, very seriously because it's very serious. This right here let me see. As you see, is a police report that I did addressing the sodomy, rape, and torture of all four of my children and me. That was done to us by a man by the name of Don Marlowe Sillette Stokes, who's a Stokes family member, related to the now deceased Congressman Louis Stokes. That's just one of the police reports that have never gone anywhere on my behalf or the behalf of my protecting and providing for my children and me. It's been covered up under these last 5 elections. Since this is from October 10th, 2002, or October of 2002, not the 10th. The 10th is when my children were taken from me for telling. But my ballots have been disappearing in the elections too, to cover this up. And I am currently a presidential candidate, and I'm being denied the opportunity for equal opportunities under the law to be our president of the United States of America because of my skin color, because of my gender, because of my being a heterosexual female, because of my being a Christian believing in my faith in Jesus Christ, because of my national and my natural origin. Although I am a native-born American, I am also your relative, Queen Elizabeth II, in the UK. And I'm also a 9th cousin removed to General George Washington, one of our former presidents of the United States of America. Well, this is just one of many police reports. This one turned into, probably 50, because it never has been addressed. And I'm very disappointed in our leaders, George Bush, Barack Obama, the Clintons, and many others. Because instead of helping me, they've been covering this up. And not only have I lost my life, but so have my children for reporting abuse. And one day I was on the phone with Sheila Parker Dammons Baker of Dayton, Ohio, and we called the National Domestic Violence headquarters. Well, a racist white woman answered the telephone and said she'd never heard of anything like this and hung the phone up on me and refused to help me. I've been through rape crisis for these situations, the witness victim advocacy program through these situations. I've had civil protection orders that were never enforced or even taken seriously through this situation. Been there and done it. Name a program and an agency. Been there and done it. Well, on October the 10th, 2002, I was held hostage and captive where I was supposed to be safe under my civil protection order that was given to me by Judge Cheryl S. Carter and Magistrate Joan Pellegrin under the leadership and the administration of Judge Timothy Flanagan, who was the administrative judge at the time. And my children were stolen out of a school and told that I had given them away. That didn't happen. I was held by a lady named Rosie Larry in a place where I was supposed to be safe. My baby and I, he was 2 years old, my son Hosea. And my son's father, Joshua Sellett, and Hosea Sellett, their dad, Don Marlowe Sellett, as I stated, who is a Stokes, had been raping, sodomizing, and torturing these babies while I was trying to make us safe, outside of the horrible things that he was doing to us, including doing to me in our home. And in my home that I had prior to the one on Ludlow Road, where we were kidnapped and held captive, and the police report never went anywhere. Well, my baby Hosea and I were being held captive while Rosie Larry was holding us there, and a lady named Jill Edwards from the Department of Children and Family Services orchestrated and initiated my children being stolen from me and told them I gave them away. And James McCafferty had this done. And those of you who are familiar with James McCafferty, he was the Director of Children and Family Services for Cuyahoga County at the time. Well, 14 years later, I still have never gotten my children back and never have had a lawyer to help me get them back. My one son is in prison now because the system showed that you take a gun and you just go rob people of whatever you want from them, including their babies, women of color, specifically, like what happened to some of the Native Americans when some of the Europeans came over here in 1492, when some people came here with criminals on boats and some other things and robbed and raped people. Well, I experienced that right here where I live, from people right here where I live in the United States of America. Queen Elizabeth II, I called the palace yesterday, and some lady was horribly rude to me. And I am your relative through my dad, Charles E. Jackson Pinkney. And my mom is an attorney who has been threatened. She won't tell me, she won't acknowledge it, but I know she has because I know my mom, and so is my dad. And I need your assistance. I've had my presidential election number since March the 2nd of 2015, and I've been being denied equal opportunities under the American law for my campaign and to be the presidential leader for this country. And this is my third election. My ballot disappeared in the 2004 election when George Bush ran for the last time, supposedly, which we know it was never really an election. And once again, this was after my children were taken from me. After they stole my children from the school, they came and robbed me as a baby. Don Marlowe Sellett Stokes and a guy named Ricky G. Brown, a native of Chicago, Illinois. They're both Baptist preachers. Well, a guy named Terry Sparks, a pastor named Terry Sparks, and some other preachers, Jeffrey Johnson, and who's a preacher. I dare not even mention the horrible things I experienced through the councilman, Jeffrey Johnson, in Cleveland, Ohio. helped conspire to steal my children from me. I know what does and does not work in terms of the system of things. I'm a retired probation officer, and I was forced into retirement because I was not only being abused at home, I was being abused on my job. And the people on my job, some of them on my job, were letting my abusers know my whereabouts. And Don Marlowe Select Stokes could tell me what I wore to work, what time I got to work, when I went to lunch, etc. My daily routine, and would be posted up at the end of my driveway or at the end of the street on 120th Street off of Buckeye when I would get off from work. He would lock me in his Christian bookstore, Lord Manchild, located at 11905 Buckeye, and force sexual acts on me. And I want to let you know that I want to be our leader because I want to correct this. When I ran for president in 2008, 1 month before the presidential election, I was beat up and thrown in the county jail and tortured. So Barack Obama could supposedly win the election. Well, my ballot never got counted. And then when I went to inquire about it, Jane Platten had me locked up under Timothy McGinty and some of these other judges. After, keep in mind, Judge James Payne of Indianapolis, Indiana, would have hit on me from his bench and threatened to have me murdered and told Ricky G. Brown to come to Ohio to proceed against me. They've been altering and playing with my files, etc. The moral of this story is that I want to be our presidential leader. I'm still standing in spite of the odds against me. I'm still standing. My presidential election campaign number is P60005881. And once again, I've had it since March the 2nd of 2015. And I've been being violated of my constitutional, civil, and human rights for this campaign. And I'm very disappointed in you, Pastors Thompson, to put something like that on my page today, when I've supported you, as well as some others, Kathy Ray Coleman and some others, to keep putting things on my pages and doing horrible things to me, knowing I'm a candidate, and then I've supported you, and then you have the nerve to do things like that to me. I'm disappointed in the church as a whole, period. Because we have preachers supporting these horrible things happening to me and would not dare even come close to supporting the good things that I do. I've been having praise and worship in the park for many, many years now, and not one pastor has backed me or supported me on what I do. Instead, I get discredited. I spoke on the Play a T show on Friday night, and I was told that I was going to do this because we were going to do it before the election. Well, instead, I've been being harassed. And people want to argue and fuss with me. I've been speaking at the Cuyahoga County Council meetings, and Council President Brady has been totally disrespectful, and so has County Executive Armand Budish, who Bishop Eugene Ward told me that when he prayed for him, he could not mention Jesus. And I'm wondering, who is he a bishop for? Because if he's saying he's a bishop for Jesus Christ, but he's willing to deny Christ for what? And this is the same bishop who told Councilman Jeffrey Johnson he was going to help him proceed against me and show him how to win. I am a presidential candidate, and I would like to be our leader. And I've asked the Cuyahoga County Council to stop this electoral process in Cuyahoga County, Ohio, because it's not being done fairly. And I'm being blocked there as well. I met with the Board of Elections in Cuyahoga County, and they told me they know they messed up, and they're not going to do anything to correct it, or to even make peace with me, as well as I've made efforts to make peace with the Cleveland police in reference to situations pertaining to my life and my safety. And their lawyer, Jack Basevice, he calls himself Jack in his racism, John Basevice, told me that it is not moral or ethical for him to be decent or civilized towards me, and he will do nothing to resolve matters with me peacefully. When I ran for president in 2012, on July the 16th. On July the 17th, my belongings were stolen, including federal, state, and local documents. July the 18th, Kathleen Ansatula sends me a stack of denials of all of my motions. And I don't believe in coincidences. This is Judge Kathleen Ansatula, who has also given me orders from her court to follow, and when I do, she rules against me. And this is the same Kathleen Ansatula who you are. If you look it up, you see the lynchings of what she does to black people. I consider myself to be a multiracial American because I have white lineage, Native American lineage, African lineage. I have different races that I am a native of. I am a multi-partisan candidate also because I believe there's good in each one of the parties. Some of you have to pull it out a little bit more than others, but I would love to have your vote today. And should they continue the election process today, I would love to have your vote today. If they need to stop it so we can pursue it at a later time and review and renew the process, I'd love to have your vote. My phone number is 1216-548-0820. I am of a royal priesthood and a chosen generation. I am a woman of God. I am the preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. For it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone who believes. And Queen Elizabeth II, I realize that you are seasoned now, but I am your relative, and I need your help, and I would like to have your support. Please have whoever you have do what they do immediately on my behalf. The United States government has people who are trying to murder me, and I need your assistance. I've been being abused for many, many years, most of my life, and I need your help. Some people believe because nothing's happened to anyone thus far that nothing will ever happen. But God has been keeping me, and I realized what King James did to the Queen of England back in the time of 1611 when he put his version of the Bible together to try to move her out of her position. Well, I have those snakes and those people doing that to me now. Men come up to me to try to have sex with me, and I've been raped, and all types of horrible things have been happening to me to force me to change my mind. I've even been drugged in order for people to try to make me change my mind. I need your help. And I'm not just speaking to the Queen Elizabeth of the United Kingdom. I'm speaking to anyone who will help me. I do need a lawyer right now. Not just a lawyer, I need an attorney. Someone who is licensed to practice law. Federally, state, locally, and internationally. I do have some people in place who would like to help me and who have been a blessing to me. They're few, but there are some. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Today is November the 8th, 2016, in the United States of America. I'm Reverend Pamela M. Pinkney, presidential candidate for the United States of America, and I'd like to have your vote today. I've asked and requested a recount for the 2004 and 2008 elections, where my ballots were not counted. I've been being denied that opportunity. And I want to say to you, I do honor my parents, that my days would be long upon the land which the Lord, my God, has given me. And I want to tell you, I don't make void the law because of my faith. I, as a Christian, am one who helps establish the law through the aid of the Holy Ghost. and her school. Once again, my phone number is 216, or 1 in front of it if you're from another country, 548-0820. I love to have your help, and I do have things in place already, in spite of the odds that have been against me. My incorporated entities got shut down temporarily because my money's been being violated and tampered with and abused. And I'm also asking an attorney to pick up the cases that I have filed in the courts to help me to follow through on them because they're being refused to be heard. Judge Donald C. Nugent of the United States District Court, Northern District, blocked me from filing, and some others have followed suit. Thank you very much. God bless you, and I pray that you have a safe and a prosperous, a blessed day wherever you are. Whether you be in the United States of America or any other parts of the land, you be blessed. Thank you so much. Reverend Pamela and Pinkney, presidential candidate for the United States of America for 2016. Candidate number P60005881. Be blessed.